Okay, this is the third part of my little tutorial series on making an MMD model for VRChat. In this one, this is a Unity side of things, so I'm going to be covering custom animation overrides, blinking animations, dynamic bonds, and just setting everything up generally for VRChat. So, first of all, what you want to do is open up Unity and load up the VRChat SDK and the cube shaders, which you'll have in the description. This makes your character look more anime-like. And then you want to right click on the assets part, create a new folder, name it textures, because you want to import your textures before the model. So go over to where your textures are in your folder with the model, select everything, and then drag it in to the textures folder. Okay, once that's done, find your model that you exported from Blender, drag that into after the textures, and you don't need that anymore. Left click on your model down in the assets, and then you come up here, you see on the rig part it says generic. You want to change that to humanoid. If you followed the parenting tips on my last video, you should have no errors. But if you do, hit configure and then work that out. Okay, just save that, and then everything should be green. If it's not, then just change the bones about, but everything is fine on mine right now. A little tip is sometimes your character may be tiptoeing in game. You don't actually need the toes in VRChat, it's an optional bone. So to get rid of the tiptoeing, just delete the toe bones pretty much, just hit the little circle beside it and then type in none, select that, toes deleted, all green still, no problems, hit apply, hit done. Right, now drag the model onto the hierarchy up here, and then it centers everything. You can do it in the 3D view and then hit this little cog, hit reset, and it centers it again. We want to change the scale to 0.25 because this is way too big for VRChat right now. Yeah, and then you can see the model looks like shit right now. We do not want that. So go over to the materials folder. This will be created automatically once you import the model in, if you already have the textures in the project. So select the top texture and then hold down left shift and select the bottom texture. Hop over to the shader part in the inspector, hit cubed paradoxed flatlit toon. Again, this will be in the description. Change the width to 0.01. This is my preference. You can fart about it and do what you want, but this is what I do. It makes it look more anime-like. Once you've done that, back over to the model, hit Control D, and this creates a clone, and this is going to be a blinking animation. So rename that blink, and then hit the animation tab, hit create, rename this blink. Okay, now we want to add the blinking blend shape for the character. You seen in the last video I made two meshes, one for the face, one for the body. All shape keys for the blink is going to be on the face obviously. Go over to the skin mesh renderer, scroll down, find blink, so B, there it's there, hit the little plus sign, and then let's move this back a little bit, drag this up, and then hit here, and you can see our character breaks. And this is why we create a clone, because we don't want that in our main model, because then it'll just mess the whole character up. So select the blink up top here, and then make sure that the recording mode is turned off so that it doesn't record what you're doing right now. And then just move this up so we can see it a little bit easier. And then hit recording mode again, so any changes you make in here will be made to the timeline. Let's leave the first keyframe, this is at 0, the next one's at 0 too until we change it. Put this up to 5 seconds. The way I usually do my blinks is I have one blink at 5 seconds and a double blink at 10 seconds. That's exactly what I'm going to show you right now. So over at 5 seconds, go to 510, make a new keyframe, change it to 100, then go up another like 10th of a second, make a new keyframe, change it to 0. You can see blink once, on the 5 second mark. Now if you leave it like this, it will just blink once every 5 seconds. So if this is all you want, then just skip this part till after I've made the next blink, but I'm going to show you the way I do my blinks. So scroll out, go to 10 seconds on the timeline, create a new keyframe, and this one's already at 0. So the same again, what we would do is we go to another 10th of a second, so here, create a keyframe, 100, go to the next 10th of a second, 0, and now this time we're going to go to a 5th of a second, so create another keyframe, and we're going to change this next 5th of a second to 100, and then the next 5th of a second after that change it to 0. So it should look like this: 10, 10, 10, 0 at 10 seconds, 100 at 10, 10, and then 0 at 10, 20, 100 at 10, 25, and then 0 at 10, 30, and then that's a double blink. So I'll play that through, you can see it. It's just a little yeah, once we're done that, that is the blink animation pretty much completed on the timeline. That's all you need to do, it just keeps looping. Now after that you want to go to project here and then find your blink animation file, which is here. You can see it's already on loop time. We don't like absolutely needs to be legacy here, so you need to do is go up the top to this little drop down, hit debug, and it says legacy, check legacy, and go to drop down again, hit normal, and change the wrap mode from default to loop, and then that's your blink pretty much complete. And now to get this on your main model, we can hide this model now and go back to our main model. To get this on your main model, click on your model, add component, and then animation, and then all you need to do is grab your blink from your assets and drag it over to animation, and that is your main model. Now have a blinking animation, and this overrides custom overrides too, so it may look a little funny if you're doing animation overrides. That's blinking finished, sorted. Right, now I'm going to do a custom animation override with a facial expression. So the same again, it's similar to blink, so press Ctrl D on your main model. Let's rename this happy, so let's do a happy face. So same again, go to animation, create, rename this happy, add property, go to the face mesh, skin mesh renderer, and then on most models you'll see it laugh, a laugh is happy eyes. First thing you want to do is delete this keyframe away over at 1 second, and then that breaks the model again. Go back up to happy, make sure that the recording thing is deselected, drag this to the side, drag it up, sorted. Sometimes the face disappears again, you would go to happy, face, turn the extents up to 0.1, you'll be able to see the face again. And this is just in this, but make sure that the recording for the keyframes is deselected. Now the thing with animation overrides is you want two keyframes. You want a keyframe on 0 and you want a keyframe on 1, and they both need to be the exact same values. So on this, we'll change this to 100, and you can see that's the happy eyes, and we can make it look a little bit happier with adding in a different blend shape. A lump, I think that raises the eyebrows if I remember right. Yep, it raises the eyebrows. And then we can add in another one, licking, you can stick our tongue out, okay, and maybe another one. Let's just leave it at that. Yeah, so that's all you need for the blend shapes. Now onto the time consuming part of animation overrides. Instead of going to your mesh this time, you would go to the animator up here, you would drop this down, and then you want to do left hand starting from index 1, and then you want to do all of these here all the way down to thumb spread. So the cut off point is leg stretch, you do not want leg stretch, and you do not want left hand T, and it is the exact same with right hand T. You start in between these, all of those, and then stop at leg stretch. So I'm going to do this quickly and speed up the video, so you don't need to watch through all of this. You just need to add all of these in one by one, and just keep doing what I'm doing right now. All of these, it doesn't matter which order you do them in, so I can do like little ones stretched, just as long as you do them. Every one needs to be selected. I'm going to speed up the video and just do this quickly as possible. Okay, that's all of those done. Now, this is, you can see, this is every bone for the fingers in both hands, and you can animate each one of those joints separately. Like you see right now, the default pose for when the model breaks is like a little grasped hand thing. Now, for the happy faces, I usually leave these bones, like everything at 0, because it simulates like a head pat, if you will. It's like just the perfect kind of roundness to put it on a head for like head pat in VRChat. So I leave this at 0, but for this tutorial I'm going to show you how it works in a different way, but this isn't the way I would usually do it. Now, we're going to create like a fist just to show you how the bones move. So we put this at -1, and you see this finger up here moving when I do this. Put this at -1, this at -1, this at -0.5, and that like bends it over, and this is how you animate each finger to like do whatever you want. The spread changes like how far out it goes, so you could fucking make it really weird to minus and put it the other way like that. You see what I mean? But yeah, I'm going to do this really quickly as well. I'll just pause the video at the end of this when I scroll it up, and you can see all of the numbers, and you can just copy these down if this is just for the fist animation on your hand. So yeah, I'm going to do this for both hands really quickly. Okay, I've done the left hand now. Now, I don't really need to see the hand. I want both the hands the same. You can see like a fist thing here. The left hand, the one we just animated. I'm going to repeat that for this hand so it looks the exact same. So you just want the exact same numbers you've got on this left hand on the right hand. So I would just copy these down. Okay, once I've done that, that's both hands animated into the position that I want my hands to go when I gesture the trigger. So this is for the Vive. I've not used an Oculus Rift, but I'm pretty sure it's the same basis. Now I'm going to have this play on handgun. So you see when you create a handgun in the Vive, it is like an arrow going this way, diagonal, bottom left. Oh, is it? No, no, wait, it's bottom right, sorry. It's this way. If you're holding the left hand controller, like this, you're holding this controller on this hand, it would be this way you want to pull it, like touch the touchpad. If you're holding this controller, it's this way. You can do both at the same time, and it does both hands. Now, the thing with custom animation overrides is you can do it on this hand, and you can still have this hand do something else, like a different override. So you can have this one doing like the peace sign, while this one has the fist set for the happy hand. And you can have like a happy face and move the victory sign up to your eyes and do some fucking cute pose anime thing, yeah. But I'll show you that when I test it out in game. But we're not done with this animation just yet. So once you've had all these done, this is all on the 0 keyframe. You see up here 0. All these values are set. We want this on keyframe number 1. So we need to have 2 keyframes of the exact same values to do this. Go all the way up to the top here. Left click once on the very top keyframe. Hit Control C. Move it up to keyframe number 1. Hit Control V. And that just copies it over. So it's the same values on 2 keyframes. If you have it on 1, I had this issue for a while and then I've eventually got it fixed. If you only have 1 keyframe for everything, your hands become unresponsive and it's like very slow animations and it just bugs out completely. So you need to have 2 keyframes, 1 on 0, 1 on 1 of the exact same values. And once you do this, you go to project. Once you're done with the animation, click on happy, and you need to make sure that loop time is turned off on the inspector. And that's that done. Completely finished with that custom override. And then what you want to do is go to the VRChat SDK, hit examples, hit sample assets, hit animation, and then you want to go down to custom override empty. You want to duplicate this with Control D. Then you want to drag this back to your main folders, your main assets. So out of the VRChat SDK, with that drop down, and then you just want to, you see all of these things here. These are already defaulted on, so you don't need to like select every one of them. But I want happy on handgun, so I want to drag happy over to handgun. You see here, and then boom. When I do the handgun in game, happy will play like the face, the custom override. But it isn't set to the model yet, so what we want to do is go back, hide our character that we made happy on, and then this is our main model. Click on the main model, add component, avatar descriptor, and then for now what you want to do is custom override empty, drag this to custom standing anims, so it's your animations. If you add this to the custom sitting animations, it does it while you're seated too. If you don't, then you can't do the animation override while you're in a seat. You can add it to the bottom one, you can do it while you're in a seat too. Now, when you add this in, you see this little ball. This is what you see in VRChat. So this is pointing the way the character is facing. And you want this in line, right in the centre of the eyes, halfway in between it. So that is way too tall right now, so you want to go to the Y position, change it until you get it in between the eyes. So you see it's close to the eyes right now. That's been a bit perfect to be honest. Maybe just a little more. 1.11, yeah, that'll do. And you want to change the Z. 0.1, no, that's too much. 0.09, still too much. 0.8, yeah, that's about right. 0.07. Don't worry about it being like too far in the face, because that is what you want pretty much. I could maybe just lift that one more. Yeah, like that. That's fine. You don't want it too deep. You don't want it in the centre of the head. You just want it like kind of halfway resting on top of the nose. And then you want to hit male. If you're on a male, just keep that male. If you're on a female, set it to female. And now we're going to do. That's how you make a custom animation override. When you upload this and then you do the handgun gesture in game, it will play, and that's you sorted with that. And now we've got the Visemes for the mouth for when you talk in game, so that your mouth moves. Now, before I get into this, if you go and test it out in game after we do this, it's not going to look as if it works properly on your screen. It looks buggy from your point of view, but I guarantee you everybody else's point of view it looks absolutely fine. You go for the lip sync on the avatar descriptor, and then go to Viseme blend shape. Okay, and then you want to go into your main model up top, and then you want to grab your face mesh. If you only have one mesh, just drag in your normal mesh, your main mesh. But all my blend shapes are on my face on this model. So I would drag this face mesh into this. You see all this shit popped up. Now there is a smarter way of doing it, like with dragging in each specific blend shape that's supposed to be for the sound. You see sill, that's supposed to, like if you do it in real life, like sill, if you say sill, that's the way your mouth's supposed to move, and you're supposed to select the blend shape that represents that shape. But I'm too lazy for that. I just add random shit in and it works. Like I've not had any issues, no one says it looks weird or anything. So for sill I usually just go for like a closed mouth thing. You see this is like a little arch thing for mouth. She just closes her mouth. I usually do that for like the sill or like the P sound or the F sound. It's just as if your mouth is closed for every one of these. So let's just do this for quickness. D K and then when you get on to the vowels, that is when you use the different stuff. You see most blend shapes have like an shape. Where is this one? I can't find it. And that's there, so I would select A for that. For E, this might not have one. Okay, let's just put there. I don't even know if that's the right one, but yeah. For let's just do this thing. This is like an opened mouth frown thing, like we did for the last ones. O. Probably just do A for that one again, to be honest. Some of them have more than others, but this one doesn't have a lot. But I get like I've just set all of these, but I can still guarantee that these will work in game. Actually, maybe just set this for those last ones. As long as set, most of the words work perfectly. And that is Viseme's done a very basic set on them. I've never had any problems with it. But yeah. What next? Dynamic bones. It costs £20 in the Unity store. I'm not sure what it is in American dollars, but there is ways of acquiring it for free. Just ask around Discord. Yeah, so I bought it though, so I bought it the legal way because I'm a good boy. So yeah, I just import that into the project. I've got my dynamic bones here now. The cleanest way of adding dynamic bones is adding it to the main model, like the very start of your model. So I would go to add component, type in dynamic bones, add. Okay, it's not selected to anything, so if I hit play on the play mode and moved it around, nothing would move because it's all just basic right now. It's all just standard. You need to apply the root of the dynamic bones. So this is where we go into the bones, the armature on Unity of the hierarchy. Central, groove, waist, upper body. In this case we're going to do the hair. So yeah, I'm not going to spend too long getting into full details about it, so work your way to the head. Most models have different bones for the hair, so they've got like a few. This one I think is one of them, yeah. New bone 7, new bone 1. Right cat, and yeah, that's the cat ears inside of the head. We don't want that. Dynamic. But yeah, go back to the main model where we've applied the dynamic bones, and then you want to grab head, drag it all the way into the root, and this means that the full head has now got dynamic bones, which we do not want. Everything, you see the eyes go crazy, everything just goes absolutely mental. You don't want that. So come out of play mode, and then you see the eyes ahead, both eyes, glasses, left eye, left female, which is the left cat ear, right cat ear, right eye, tongue, basically everything but these two we want excluded from it. So we go back to the main model and then we just drag these over to exclusions, and each one we drag in creates a new exclusion, and that basically means it's excluded from being dynamic bones, like it doesn't move, just makes an exception. So grab all the shit you don't want, so the cat ears, the eyes, and the tongue. Did all of them, I think that's all of them. And now just these two bones will be animated when we press play. Select the main model when you're doing this, and then you see the hair moving. It's going a little crazy right now, so we don't want that. We want to slow that down a bit. To do this, you can slow down the bones with dampening. I'm not a complete expert on dynamic bones, I just usually use round about the same settings. So we slowed the bones away down, we want to raise the inert up a little bit too, and then we'll have a look at it now. Yeah, you see that sways a lot nicer, that's a little bit better. When you're doing dynamic bones on a skirt or something, a lot of the time you want to raise the elasticity, because that snaps the bones back into place quicker so that it doesn't always clip through your body, like you don't see your fucking stomach and stuff when you're, or your legs clipping through the skirt. So you just need to play around with the settings. I'm not going to go too in depth about it just to keep the video short, but yeah, now I'm going to go on to colliders. So another thing, if you've made edits in play mode and you press play, it resets and you will lose all the stuff you had. So what you want to do is come up here, right click, copy component. Now this works for everything on the inspector for Unity. If you change something, and like if you see here, like I'll change this down here, hit play mode, it resets back to the way it was. So I can just get the copied component, paste component values, and it would put it back to the way I wanted it. Now we want colliders. We want to be able to touch your hair. So what we would do is go to the hand. Where is it? Chest. We'd find the shoulders. So shoulder 1. This is the right hand side. We would go all the way down. Find the elbow. Oh, not that one. Find the wrist. And then there is two ways that I usually do colliders. I either put them on the wrist and raise the height, or I put it on the middle finger, which is like the centre of the hand, the first middle finger bone, and then just have like a big circle for it. In this case I'm going to do the middle finger, so you would find the middle finger, add component to the middle finger, and then dynamic bone collider. You can see this big fucking circle is absolutely huge, that's way too big. It will just freak your head out. Change this from 0.5 to 0.020. Yeah, it looks a bit good. 0.020 is fine on this model, just big enough for the hand to cover the whole hand. And then we would copy component so that we can just post this onto the different shoulder. Go onto the other shoulder for the other hand. Left arm, left elbow, left wrist, middle finger, add component, collider, and then paste the values again, and it just does the exact same to the other hand. And now we've got two colliders. Now we need to link that up to the dynamic bones on the hair, so we would go to model up the top, and you see colliders here. Drop this little thing down. We've got two colliders, so change this to 2, and you see it says none. Hit the little circle to the right hand side of it, then we select the left finger, then we select the right finger, the right hand finger, and then when we touch our hair in game, our hair should move. And I think that is all I was going to cover in this video, but yeah, after I did this, I would go to build control panel. Am I not logged in? Yes, I'm not logged in. Let me just sign in off screen. I'm signed in. A thing with uploads when you're doing constant tests, if you have future proof publish unchecked, it goes so much quicker, so just make sure that's unchecked. It doesn't really make a difference. I'm not really sure what it does, but the uploads are like instant when it's off. So we'd go to VRChat. First of all, I'm going to boot up my VR. Yeah, I'll just edit that. I'll edit when I get on VR to test it out. But yeah, so I would go to show build control panel. You see there's a lot of errors here. Like if it's yellow, it still works in game. So we can ignore them for now. We can upload the game, it should all be fine. Full body tracking, it's probably not going to work. I haven't really figured out how to parent it properly for full body tracking. But yeah, so obviously up here would appear if you have the SDK, which I'm assuming you know how to do. And then just name this test tutorial. Apply, upload, and then it will upload the model. And I will edit it to show what it's like in game, and I'll show you everything I just added. And yeah, cheers.